between $250,000 to $300,000. By the end of the decade, I want to be $10 million business. Revenue will shoot up to like 40,000. I can guarantee that when I wake up on Thursday morning, there'll be a smile on my face because sales will be up. I have a process for email and it works, and it's worked for 10 years. It's never let me down.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We are here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name's John Ainsworth and today's guest is Carl Pullein. Now, Carl's a British productivity coach. He's based in Seoul in South Korea and he's the founder of Carl Pullein International. He started out with a law degree from Leeds Metropolitan, moved to Korea and spent his first career running corporate training programs for some pretty serious clients. Kia's marketing team, the OECD, a string of UN bodies. But the work he's known for now started over 10 years ago when he uploaded his first video to a brand new YouTube channel about time management. Now, over 10 years and 1,300 videos later, that channel has grown to over 150,000 subscribers, more than 17 million total views. And it powers a business built around two of his own proprietary frameworks: the COD system, which stands for Collect, Organize and Do, and the Time Sector system. And his free COD course has been taken by more than 15,000 people. His email list is over 30,000, and he runs a weekly podcast answering subscriber questions on top of all that as well. He has helped hundreds of thousands of people worldwide to improve their time management and become more focused on what is important to them. He also coaches companies and individuals globally through his one-to-one coaching programs and online training programs. He's written 5 books, the latest of which is Your Time, Your Way, Time Well Managed, Life Well Lived. And it's a step-by-step guide to revolutionizing your time management that puts you in control of your time and your life. He was also voted 2024 World's Top Time Management Professional. Carl took deep expertise in productivity and turned it into a YouTube channel, a podcast, a course catalogue, a coaching practice, and a membership, which is exactly the journey that I know a lot of you are on right now. Carl, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Talk us through, who is it that you're helping with your courses? Who's your target audience?
Okay, that one, now, there's a bit of a story here. Okay. I've had a passion and love for time management and productivity since I was in middle school. It sounds crazy, I know. I was one of these people, and this is before computers. So I was the one who was writing out revision timetables for my O-levels and A-levels and stuff. And I was superb at that. I just wasn't very good at doing the revision or taking exams. but that kind of ignited my love of like time management and productivity and all things related to that. And so when I first started, and I'd followed Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk, and I knew these people, and I'd followed and watched all their videos, and I've been to Singapore to do UPW, Unleash the Power Within, with Tony Robbins, and I know he talks about identify who your ideal customer is. And I thought, well, I don't know. I'm just going to, I was going to use the full word for that, beginning with S and ending with T, but I'll change it to throw enough mud at the wall and you'll figure it out. And that's precisely what I did.
Swear away if you want to.
So I threw a lot of mud at the wall just to see where it landed and to see who was, responding. And that gave me the insights to who my ideal customer is, if you like. And that turned out to be, a knowledge worker who is aged between, say, 35 and 55. Mm-hmm. And that got backed up because as my YouTube channel grew, the analytics starts popping in and, Google are collecting information all the time. So I was able to check that against what my YouTube viewers were. Mm-hmm. And it just turned out to be they are pretty much knowledge workers. There are some like edge cases. So I've had in my coaching program, for example, I do have some like stay-at-home mothers, for example, who are just, I didn't even think about that when I first started, but now I've learned a lot about managing a home with kids running around. And, in the US, they do homeschooling. So that's the one where I found where a lot of people are really struggling. So stay-at-home parents who are doing homeschooling. So they've got all the usual stay-at-home jobs to do, but now they've also got to organize the schooling of their kids as well. And it's just crazy. So that's kind of an edge case that's sort of come in. And then recently, particularly in the last, say, maybe 2 years or so, I've got quite a few people who are just going into retirement. And so I've been doing a lot of research on that over the last 6-7 months because I've just launched a program for people in retirement. But it's all around time management and productivity.
Okay. So what's the fundamental problem, do you think? Is it that people have got more to do than they have time to do it? Is it that they don't know what the priorities are? Like, what is it that you're really helping them with?
Well, the problem is technology, but it always has been. I'm not saying that that's something new. It's always been that case. I think when we moved from the factory into the office, that's when the problems started.
Mm.
I love contemporary history, and I don't know if any of your listeners have read Dominic Sandbrook's. He's one of the co-hosts of The Rest Is History, but he wrote, I think it's 4 books on British contemporary history from 1956 to 1982.
Huh?
And he just covers everything, not just the political situation, but also the cultural, the social. And I read those books a couple of years ago, or started reading them. They're very big books.
Mm.
And it dawned on me when I was reading those books, clearly what had happened was we had really kind of solid, conservative with a small c structures. Like, the husband would go out to work. He'd work from like 9 until 5, probably in a factory. This is the 1950s and 60s. He'd come home, have his dinner, probably go to the pub, and on Saturday morning they'd work, and then in the afternoon they'd go and watch football. Or if they're from the north of England, like Yorkshire, where I'm from, we'd go and watch rugby. And my grandfather did that. And, I was talking to my dad about it, and sure, that it was all very structured. So we didn't have that pressure on our time because it was kind of fixed. We went to work, we went to the pub, we had, we chatted with our kids, had dinner together. All that happened. And then slowly, probably from about the 1980s onwards, technologies come in, it kind of, TV came in, it obliterated everything. And now, whilst we didn't really get as much leisure time back, we ended up getting lots of more stuff to do. And then, of course, the mobile phone meant that now the office could communicate with us when we weren't in the office. And then, iPads and smartphones then came out, and now we're doing email outside of the office. I was lucky when I was working in the UK, I was on the transition between letters and email. So it's like late 90s, early 2000s. And it was great back then because I left the office at 5:30, got on the bus to go home, and tough, there was no way I could do any work. Couldn't take files home with us. There's no access to email, no access to the mail. Boss would never call me. So Friday night, 5:30, didn't have to worry about work. That's all changed now, of course. You can't escape. So it's partly technology that just means now that we've got this overlap into our social lives, and it's now and then of course you've got social media and instant access to information that we never used to have either. So all that is it's just applying more and more pressure on our time.
Interesting. I read I can't remember what book it was from Cal Newport, maybe Deep Work or something like that. He was talking about the idea of everybody knew that computers increased productivity, and they did in factories because it made things run more efficiently kind of behind the scenes. And then it came in for knowledge workers, everyone got email, and all of a sudden there was so much communication, and it was so easy to have lots and lots of messages going out that it actually has not been proven. He hypothesized that it actually helped increase productivity at all. It's like GDP doesn't seem to have gone up in the way that you would have expected to if this actually was that useful. And I was just like, the way I've taken it is it's very hard to get hold of me. I'm lucky because I'm like running the business, right? But it's like, if you email me, it could be days before I'll reply to it. It's just like, and no things have burnt down. No one's died.
No, it doesn't.
Everything's fine. It's all okay. It's just totally fine. And it's probably really annoying for a bunch of people. But it's like, that's all right.
Well, that's
okay.
The thing. People think it's really annoying, but it isn't, because they're so overwhelmed with all the other messages coming in that they don't really notice that you haven't replied. And actually, I've noticed when I'm talking to quite a few of my clients about this, they say the people we really hate are the ones who reply very quickly. Because now I've got to deal with their reply.
I've got to reply to their reply,
The other one that I do is, like you, I do make it difficult to contact me, but I push everyone to email because I have a process for email. I don't have a process really for WhatsApp or Teams or message or Slack. I just don't really have a process for that. So I just don't use them. And I just say, if you want to contact me, here's my email address. Because I have a system for that, and it works. And it's worked for 10 years, and Never let me down.
I got a friend who, if I WhatsApp him, he emails me back.
It's
He's
clever,
like,
clever.
"Look, this is how I will see your message, but I am not going to reply to you there. I do not accept this WhatsApp thing that you are using." And I'm like, all right, fine. As long as you then accept that I only see email every 3 days, then we're good, you know.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the business. What's the kind of size of the business revenue wise, and what's the kind of breakdown of it from like online courses versus any coaching or other things that you're selling?
It's funny you should ask that question because I had to look at that today. So I was running at, it was around about 70% online course revenue, 30% coaching revenue. But I noticed today that actually that's changed a little bit. It's now 60% online course revenue and 40% coaching revenue. Although actually with the coaching revenue, that's also including workshops. I do 4 workshops a year, and that they've been added over the last 2 years. So that might be what's causing that. So we make, as a business, we're making between 250,000, and this is dollars. So it's $250,000 to $300,000. I think last year was 282 or something $1,000 coming in. So yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it covers the costs.
Yeah.
But I really do want to get it up to the, because I was Tiago Forte, who does Build a Second Brain. He did I think he did a podcast, or he did a YouTube video where he mentioned that his revenue is at $6-7 million a year. And I'm going, okay, I'm missing something here. I need to.
Yeah.
That's where I should be.
Yeah, definitely. Why not? What's the kind of setup? Is it just you? Do you have a team behind you in the business?
I have a team now. I have a marketing manager and I have a video editor. Although we kind of share the video editing, so I will do the initial pass. So I'll put all the videos in and then put the B-roll, because my B-roll is going to be screenshots or screencast type stuff. Then I send it to her for the polish and the animations and stuff like that, because I just don't have time to learn all that. So she does all that for me, and she does the shorts as well. So and then my marketing manager, she just takes care of the social media and is working on the designs. Like, we tend to go back and forth on thumbnail designs and stuff for new courses and stuff.
And how big's your email list now?
We're at, I'm going to say about 20 to, it's a good question that. It's about 25 to 30,000 people on the email list. Yeah.
Do you know about how many people you're adding a month to that?
Okay, that's a good question. So when somebody signs up for my funnel, they automatically get added to the newsletter. And then there's just the random stuff, which I call my weekly newsletter, which is just all my content, basically, that I produce that week. So if I add those two together, we're looking at probably around about 150 to 200 a month.
Okay.
But I'm not looking at how many people who sign up in the funnel who drop out once they start receiving the emails, because I think it balances out at the end of the month. So, you've got plus, say, 150, but you might have minus 40 or 50 because some people just sign up, take the course, and then just immediately disappear.
Yeah, fair. What's the main lead magnets? You got the COD course, right? Am I saying that right?
So the COD course is like if you like, it's my lead magnet. So that's just a 45-minute course. It's really the foundations. So it's, collect stuff, and you need a trusted system to collect it, organize it, and then do the work. So a few little Easter eggs in there, like managing your calendar, and the daily planning sequence that I throw in there. That then kickstarts a 4-email. You've got your funnel, don't you?
Welcome sequence.
That's what you call. Yeah, so you've got the welcome, thank you. Then there's here's a quick bonus. Then I think it's the third one. I give them a little workbook, I think it is, if I remember correctly. And then the fourth one is, okay, go for my time and life mastery course. So it's the call to action, if you like.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. I'm looking at that. Do you know about how many views you get a month on YouTube?
I don't, because that's not a number I actually look at.
Okay.
I measure the subscriber numbers. Because that tells me if the subject I'm using at the moment is resonating, because the numbers, the subscriber numbers go up. So right now, what I've been doing is I've been focused a little bit more on the tech because I've been doing that more for my coaching clients because I get a lot of questions. I thought, I can do a video, and then when I write their feedback, I can link to that video. And that drops the numbers down. So my subscribing, like its averages around about 40 to 60 at the moment. But when it's running well, like when I'm doing a variety of topics like pen and paper productivity or something like that, then it'll jump up to 100, 150 subscribers a day.
Okay.
But when you talk about views, I do look at so I look at the average of after 1 week.
Okay.
Because so I was looking at it today. So last week's video has gone to 13,000. The week before was about 7,000. Oh, no, it's 8,000. So I'm going, ha, 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 ha. Okay. So that gives me an indication of then what people are interested in. But if it's got to 20, what I'm looking for is 20,000 after a week or higher, of course.
Okay. What I'm just looking at is basically, it sounds like, so the number that you mentioned in terms of new subscribers, that was per month, or because then you just mentioned something per day a second ago?
Hang on.
Oh, you meant YouTube subscribers when you were saying just now when you said per day.
YouTube subscribers. But what I'm looking, so when I talk about per month, that the newsletter is per month.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think so. I was looking through your YouTube channel before we jumped on air, and I think that you could probably grow your email list at least 3 times faster, and probably more than that, maybe like 5 to 10 times faster. The thing that I'm seeing is, like, I watched one of your videos and you promoted at the end of it a course directly, and like a paid course. In my experience, generally you make a lot more money if you promote a lead magnet from the video and then promote the paid course just by email.
Kind of funny because I rarely promote anything in my videos. It's just that when I launch a course, which I've just done, I will mention it because it does tend to boost the sales a little bit. I can tell because obviously when the video goes out in that first few days, the sales have boosted a little bit. But I think that's partly because there's some loyal subscribers in my YouTube channel who probably don't read emails, and so I suspect but I don't do that. I keep meaning to, I just forget. and then I've gone and recorded the video. I've recorded the video and I go, oh shoot, I didn't. I go, oh well, never mind, I'll do it next week. But also it's kind of deliberate because I don't want to come across as being overly salesy. And I, the YouTube channel was created as a marketing tool. That's why I started it, 10 years ago. And so it wasn't necessarily there to promote courses. I do that now, but it's maybe every 2 months there's maybe 1 or 2 videos. There's a video a week. So out of 8 videos, probably 2 will promote a course.
Okay.
But funny enough, you should mention that because if I do the free COD course, you're absolutely right. Daily subscribers go up.
Yeah. And the way that you're promoting it at the moment, so you've got from the videos that I saw where you were promoting the COD course, you promoted it at the end, and it was linked in the description, but it was quite a long way down. And I think it was a Bitly link that you had there. So what I've found, if you want to increase the number of opt-ins you get, is if you promote the lead magnet, probably like after point 1 of the video, because that's when you've got a lot of people still watching the video, because not everyone makes it to the end, right? But you've done your intro and you've done point 1. You've already given them value, so it's not like it's not like doing it in the first 30 seconds and then your viewers drop off. And then if you put it in the description but above the fold, so like before they hit more, so like have it as like the first line, those 2 things make a really, really big difference. And I think that would grow your email list a lot faster from what I'm seeing, and like just from what I've seen with everybody else as well.
You're making me laugh because I read somewhere, this is years ago as well, that if you're going to promote something, do it in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but your point about doing it, give some value, then promote. But and I keep meaning to do it in the first 4 minutes, and then I get carried away with my story. Then at the end, I'm just going, "Comes, I'm supposed to." So it is completely my fault, and I know what you're saying, and I think, but I'd heard like do it in the first 4 minutes. Your point there about doing it, give some value, and then do it, I think makes more sense. Because if I feel that I have to do it in the first 4 minutes, I'm going to feel rushed. Whereas if I feel, and actually when I look at my average, because YouTube tells you your average viewer time, it's anywhere between 4.5 and 7 minutes is my average viewer time. So, so I know that in that first, let's call it 5 minutes, and I should just kind of just relax a little bit, get a point in there early, and then promote COD.
How do you do your videos? Do you do it completely off the cuff? Are you doing it from a script? You got bullet points? Like, what's your approach to it?
I do it off the cuff.
Okay.
I do plan out on paper. I've been doing that today because I record on Wednesdays. So this evening, that's what I've been doing. I've been just planning out the video that I'm going to do tomorrow. Although I should point out that now that we've spoken, I'm just going to make a big red mark. The first point is like, promote COD.
I used to have this big, like, there were certain calls that I was supposed to record. I mean, like the podcast, obviously, right? But like, but other ones where in my document for it, I would have like in like 72 point bold red, hit record, John. Because it's like, for God's sake, how many times can you forget to do the thing that you're actually supposed to do? I've done
that on a workshop once. I promised that it would be a recording. Went through the whole workshop, and then Zoom, because it was a Zoom thing, and at the end Zoom didn't say converting. I'm going, why? And I went, crumbs, I didn't press record.
Yeah.
Oh no. And so now I put a post-it note on the middle of the screen the night before,
right?
So that when I come through, there's a post-it that says press record.
Once someone's the next thing I want to ask you about, once someone's onto your email list, you've got your 4 email welcome sequence, and then you've got your newsletter that you mentioned. How often does a newsletter go out? Is that every week?
It's weekly.
Weekly.
Well, I've got 2 newsletters. One goes out on Wednesday. People can opt in for both or one. It's up to them. One goes out on Wednesday. I call that my learning note. And that's a reminder to me that in each of those, there needs to be a learning point. So it's usually about 350 to, at tops will be 500. I would say averages at around about 350 to 400 words. And it's a tip. And then underneath that will be something, a promotion of something, because there's always something going on. So one of the changes I've made this year is on a few of my courses, I've added a community, and we do monthly Q&As. And I did that purposefully because I thought, right, what normally happens is I'll update a course or I'll do a new course, and that'll promote that for a month or two, and then I just get bored of it. I'm moving on to the next. I'm moving on to the next
wants
thing.
Money? Who wants to make sales?
Yeah. Exactly. You just get bored of it. So trying to come up with new ways of saying this is the course you should be taking now. So I thought, but if I add in monthly Q&As, that gives me an excuse every month to promote 1 or 2 courses. Now, I don't want to be doing this for all courses, because some of them are what I call my mini courses that are quite cheap. But the more expensive courses, I want to do that with, because I enjoy it. I really enjoy those Q&As. It gives me feedback on where I can improve the course in an update. I can add extra videos. There's so much I can do. So I realize that this is, and it also adds value to the participants.
Yeah, of course. Like, you've spent hundreds of hours probably making each of these like amazing courses. And then if nobody knows that they exist, then it's kind of robbing them of the opportunity to go get them. Where I had a client once who was selling courses about how to set up a home recording studio, and he was worried that he was being salesy, and he was wondering about what courses he should make, and he surveyed his audience to find out what courses they wanted, and it turns out that some of the courses they wanted were ones that he had already made, but they just didn't know that they existed.
Well, funny enough, I was doing my YouTube, replying to YouTube comments this evening, and somebody would you be able to do something for retired people? And I thought, well, I did that 2 months ago.
Yeah.
how did you miss that? So,
Yeah.
but it's an opportunity. So I put the link in. He said, I've done it. Here you go.
How often do you do like a bigger promotion rather than like mentioning something in the Q&A or mentioning it in the newsletter? Do you do like, a multi-email promotion of I've got this new course, or here's a course that I did before that you could buy?
Now, I always do that with new courses, although I'm
Okay.
always do that with new courses. So what I will do is I'll do a separate email, usually Sunday night, Monday. So because I've got two mailing lists, so to speak. So one goes out Sunday, the next one goes out Monday. It's slightly different because quite a few people are subscribed to both. So it's always a little. I might move the image up or down, or just to make it look different.
Yeah.
So I always do that when I've got a new course on the go. Twice a year, I do a sale. So we're going to start one on the 15th of June, which will be the summer sale, and then we do the Black Friday. Oh no, it'd be 3 because I do an end of year one as well. They are superb. I love doing them. The only problem is that some of my longer term students now know that 3 times a year I'm doing sales. So they hold off, but not everyone knows. So but they are usually very good. And so
is that a sale on all of your courses when you do those?
Used to be, but I realized last year in the New Year sale that actually if I get picky, I can promote the bundles, which are obviously bigger value.
Yeah.
And I can promote some of the more expensive courses. So not the lower priced ones, because they're already low. They're $50 or something. The mini courses. So I don't need to discount them or anything. So I'm now being a lot more picky than I was.
Okay. And what kind of boost does that make in sales? Like how much revenue do you tend to bring in with those?
That can bring in anywhere between the summer sale will probably bring in about $10,000 extra. Black Friday and end of year, that's going to be like, because revenue will shoot up to like 40,000. So it's those I wouldn't miss because the value, they're just superb. I think it's probably because at Black Friday everyone's ready for sales.
Yes,
the credit cards get itchy.
Yeah. And how many emails are you sending out as part of that promotion? Is that just one email, or is that you've got multiple different emails going out?
Yeah, see, this is where I'm probably quite bad because I will send out. Actually, the Black Friday one I gear up for. So actually, that one I'm probably sending out in 1 week. I'll probably send 2 or 3 emails plus the regular ones. So, because they go out Wednesday night and Friday night. So those are obviously the regular emails are promoting, but they still have their learning point in them. Whereas the unique ones just promoting the sale don't have a learning point in.
What
I'm trying to do is just not. I'm trying to back off a little bit at the moment because everyone gets a lot of emails, and if it's always if I'm always sending emails, like I don't. Do you know Charles Tyrwhitt, the shirt maker? Yeah. I mean, they send out emails every single day, and it's like a blur to me. Because I don't need to buy shirts every week or even every day.
I listened to a podcast episode with the guy who started that, whose name is kind of Charles Tyrwhitt. It's that's like his middle name, as it turns out. So anyway, he was describing it. He was like, well, the last thing, because they also send out, I used to get their catalogs through the post, and they send them out very regularly. And it's just
I remember those, yes.
They still do them. Yeah. And it's like, well, the last thing that we want is to annoy our customers. But people would say to us, well, I only buy shirts every 6 months. So we tried sending out the catalog every 6 months. But then it turns out, well, they'd actually bought it this time after 5 months. Or they weren't ready at 6 months. They wanted it a date. And so they've forgotten about us again. So he just found, you had to be sending these things out regularly all of the time in order for it to kind of be effective. What I found with courses is you can do a promotion of a course about once a month, like of a different course, and even though to you, it's like an old one, right? You're bored with it now. But a whole load of people who joined your email list in the last 6 months have never heard of this course that you did a year ago. They have no idea it exists.
Yeah. So I only put my email funnel for, the 4-stage email funnel in January this year. And what I noticed is because I'm using like a connection with Zapier.
Zapier?
So I'm using a Zapier connection to MailChimp, which is an emailing list that I
Mhm.
use. And so Zapier was telling me how many people were signing up, and I was going, "Whoa, there's a lot of people in January." And I guess, it's January, that's why there's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and thought, wow. So then I'm looking at the numbers, and I had to look at the numbers today, and I was thinking, wow, there's about 2,000 people have signed up this year. That's 2,000 new people who've never heard of. I mention it sometimes in my emails, but not promote it, like the time sector system or time and life. They know about time and life mastery because that's the call to action from the funnel, but they don't know about some of my other courses. So I thought, oh yeah. So what you were saying there is something I'd actually thought, oh, maybe this is something I should be thinking about.
Yeah, it's I think most course creators have this. It's like they will promote a course when it's new, but then it's no longer new. It's no longer exciting. Of course, everybody knows about it, and your audience has no idea about it at all. And if you do another promotion, if you did like a 1 week of promoting, building up to and promoting a course that you did a year ago, you'd have a big spike in sales. Like I could easily imagine it would give you another 10 or 20,000 that month.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I've just done that with a course I created last July. Yeah. I updated it by adding 4 videos. And just going through the whole program myself just to see. And I picked up, there was a worksheet in the wrong place. Nobody ever told me about this. Anyway, I picked it up and I've now moved it to the correct place. I added a couple more worksheets and redesigned some of the ones that they look a bit tatty. So I redesigned those worksheets. And then I also changed the name because I used AI and said, is this a good name? Or do you think this should, what would you recommend as an alternative, given the marketplace today and so on? And it gave me I thought, I quite like that one. And so I passed it to my marketing manager and she said, yeah, this works better. And so I changed the name. Everyone who had signed up for the original one still, it's just a new name for them and an update. So I'm not charging them again or anything. Yes, you're right. It spiked sales. So it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a tremendous amount of extra work to put in it. It's more like I just gave it a really good polish because there was a bit good at the edges.
Yeah, and I think that's been my experience. That's the model for course creators. It's like when you've got a whole load of courses, just every month re-promote something that you did a while ago. If you have a new course coming out, great. But otherwise, you've got, how many promotions do you think you've got a year? You've got your 3 discounted ones that you're doing, your 3 sales. How many new courses do you have coming out a year?
Well, this year I've done 2 already, and that will be it for new course. Oh, no, there's one big one coming up because I told you about, I found that August, September are really tough months. So I thought, right, this year I'm going to put the big new course in. I'm going to launch it at the end of July. So that gives me time to actually do it as well.
Right. Yeah.
I realize I've only got about 3 months to do it. No, 2 months to do it. So yeah, I've got to get on with that one. So this year there'll be 3 new courses, but normally there's 2. But I should point out that you get to a point where adding more courses isn't necessarily, you're just creating more and more confusion. It's a bit like the Steve Jobs thing going back in 1997 and just obliterating their model year and say 4. And that's something that I'm becoming increasingly aware of and thinking, okay, I can bundle up some of the old courses and use them as a bundle. And then just focus on my main, I wouldn't say premium. Well, there's a great channel that I came across called, I think it's called Luxury Academy. Okay. It's a YouTube. The company trains luxury companies, luxury brands, how to sell and market and stuff. And I was watching quite a few of their videos, and one thing that they talked about, the pricing, like $99 or $95 or something. And I went to, and they said this doesn't work. Well, probably not in the luxury world anyway. So I went to their website and I saw, they've got 3 main courses. One is $300, one is $200, and one is $100. And I went, I actually quite like that symmetry. I just like that. So I thought, right, so 3 main courses, and then underneath I can have like my little mini courses for people who just want to learn one thing. But then focus on those 3 main courses, because I think, when people go to, you get that the paradox of choice comes
Yeah.
into effect if you've
Yeah.
got too many.
Yeah, you go and look
So
at, I've got 13 courses to choose from. Well, which one should I get? Well, I don't know. So I just won't get anything. Yeah.
So they just give up. Yeah. So my thinking is I'm going to, over the summer, I'm going to start streamlining it a little bit.
And what's next for you? How much do you want to grow the business? I know you want to like make sure you've got a good August and September this year, but like, are you got like specific numbers you want to hit for the next 12 months?
Well, this year we want to get to $500,000, but by the end of this decade, and I started this in 2020, so by the end of the decade, I want to be $10 million business. I'm getting, now we're into 2026. I realize, hang on a minute, we're getting, it's not that far away, 2030 now. So that's one of the reasons why I was looking at like the course, my offerings and thinking, okay, I've focused everything on C2C.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's probably time that I need to start moving, because I've worked with a few companies, so I know there are companies out there that want this stuff. And I know how valuable it would be for them.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I will probably start introducing next year, because I need to build programs for it, is for going into companies next year.
Interesting.
So to me, that's an untapped potential that, again, I use the Luxury Academy website as an example. They've got that 300, 200, 100 as like courses that you and I can take. But when you look at their corporate side, when they're selling to businesses, we're looking at minimum £12,000. It's a British company, £12,000. I think their highest one is pounds. I was thinking, okay, that's quite a lot more than I currently charge for any one product.
Yeah. Yeah, you certainly can charge a lot more when you're doing corporate, 100%.
And I've done one with I had done one with a Danish company where they bought something like 50. They asked me to put together a package of 3 courses, and then they bought 50 of them, and that was a nice little, that's nice when that payment came through.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'd say if you just from a financial point of view, if you improved your email opt-ins and you were getting, let's say 4 times as many opt-ins per month, and you were growing that email list at a couple of thousand a month, then after a year, then that's another 20. That's like doubled your email list. And then if you did an email promotion a month, and you that adds probably already another 50% or so to your revenue. If you have a double email list size, and that's potentially getting you up to over 50,000 a month. There's a whole lot of other things that you could do as well. But I think as a starting point, those two would allow you to hit that 500,000.
That's mark. The one that I was looking at, is like the email list is, I really want to get that up right now, because that is, you can see the spike the next day. And, an email goes out like tonight, tomorrow night, my learning note will go out. It is promoting the course that I've just updated. Okay. And I can guarantee that when I wake up on Thursday morning, there'll be a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Because sales will be up.
Yeah.
But, last night, not so good. But then the last email that went out was Friday.
Yes. Yeah.
So, things will just drop off very quickly. So but I don't want to be doing, an email a day, because I just think that would just be oversaturating myself. And so I think you're right. It was something I was thinking, right, okay, I need to build that up more, get a bit more consistency of people. So really get it back to January, because January was really good, because Zapier was telling me that I was getting very close to my limit. I thought, this is actually, it's bad news and good news, but good news because it means there's lots of people signing up. Yeah. And bad news because I have to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, as long as it makes you more money.
Hey. It's not too much extra.
Yeah. So for what I'll do afterwards, if it's useful, is I'll connect you with Josip. He's like the head of delivery over at the agency that I own, and he's like in this stuff day in, day out. He's like the absolute master at it all, and I'll get him to email back and forth with you and give you some tips about okay, if you did exactly this and this, and give you the links to resources and whatever, then that's going to help you to kind of grow the revenue. Because I think you've got massive potential to I would say at least double your revenue, and probably quite a bit more from what I'm seeing now. Like we've only talked for like 45 minutes, but from what I'm seeing so far, what I'd gone through on your YouTube channel, it looks like you could be like 3 times or more your revenue with just some relatively simple tweaks, I would say. For anyone listening, if you like, well, I'd like to know how to double my email list as well. I've got a guide called Double Your Email List, and you can get it from datadrivenmarketing.co/guide, and a couple of resources about the stuff I'd mentioned around the email promotions. There's episode 180, how I 2 times revenue in 90 days with these emails. And what I did in that episode is I went through with Dominic, who was one of the guys from the team over at the agency. He does a lot of the coaching. I went through with him, and he answered a bunch of questions from listeners about how can you actually manage to increase your revenue through these email promotions. He kind of talked that through step by step. So that was episode 180. So go check those out if you want to know how to grow your revenue as well. Carl, if people have been listening to this and they're like, man, I want to know about my how to manage my time and how to be more productive, where should they go check out your site and your YouTube channel?
Well, I would always say go to my website, which is carlpullein.com, because everything you need is there. Links to my YouTube channel, links to the courses that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of free resources in the download section as well.
Nice.
So I have a download section on my website that people can download, like just free resources. It's just to help them, guide them along the way.
Perfect. And that's CARL for Carl, and then Pullein is PULLEIN, carlpullein.com. Go check it out. Carl, thanks again for coming on, man. This has been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. I think you've got a great business here, and I look forward to seeing you grow it even more. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you very much, John. It's been a pleasure.